Hi everyone, Dr. Liz Campbell from Campbell Psychological Services in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. And we are continuing our Coping with COVID-19 Tips for Kids and Families series. And today we're going to talk further about helping kids cope with their anxiety. So today I want to share a strategy that we often teach in the office called Stop Your Worries. And we will share a copy of this worksheet on our website. And basically, this is a strategy that uses something called cognitive coping. And that's the idea that if we change what we're thinking, we can change how we feel. Most kids can understand this. So the way that this worksheet works is you don't even have to use a worksheet. We just have one for practice. But we walk through these steps. Stop. S-T-O-P. Each of those letters stands for one of the steps in this process. So the first step is S, say how you feel. So kids will often say, I feel scared, I feel worried, I feel really nervous, I feel butterflies in my belly. Say how you feel and then take 3 deep breaths. And if you remember our last video, we talked about why deep breaths are helpful and important. The T stands for thoughts. So what are the thoughts that are leading you to feel that way? Sometimes we call them worry thoughts. What are your worry thoughts? And so right now, if a child's feeling anxious about the coronavirus, they might say, I'm really scared that I'm going to get the coronavirus. I'm really scared I'm going to get it and I'm going to have to go be in the hospital. Okay, that makes sense. If you're thinking that, you're going to feel worried. Okay, so we've said how we feel. We've identified T is for thought. So we've identified the thought. And now the important part is we want to come up with some other thoughts. O is for other thoughts. And we're trying to replace that worry thought with something that is a little bit more helpful and doesn't cause so much anxiety. So sometimes it's helpful when we do this, we ask some magic questions. So those questions might be things like, well, how likely is it that you're going to get coronavirus and you're going to end up in the hospital? How likely is that? We might need to provide a little information to help kids understand that it's not very likely. So we might talk about, well, you've been staying at home, you're not around a lot of other people, we're washing our hands a lot to keep ourselves from spreading germs. Most of the people who are getting coronavirus, who are getting diagnosed, are adults, not kids. And right now in Pennsylvania, we don't even know of any kids that have ended up in the hospital from this. It's mostly grown-ups and it's mostly older people. So a little bit of a reality check there on the probability that this is going to happen. We might ask them, sometimes we do the worst case, like what's the worst that could happen? Could you deal with that? The worst that could happen is you would get sick and be in the hospital. And then what would happen? Well, the doctors would take care of you and they would help you to get healthy and get better. Remember, when we talked about talking with kids about coronavirus, we want to be reassuring. We also can ask, is there something you have control over? Well, yeah, I can wash my hands and try to stay away from other people right now so that I'm not spreading germs and I'm not as likely to get sick. Yep, okay, you got a little bit of control over this. So we ask those questions to get them thinking a little bit more deeply about this. And now we try to come up with our other thought, which is, so instead of saying to yourself, I'm worried I'm going to get coronavirus and end up in the hospital, what could you say to yourself instead that maybe is a little bit more of a helpful thought? So in this case, an example might be, well, most kids don't get coronavirus and I'm doing lots of things to keep myself safe, so I probably won't get it. And most kids, when they change that thought, feel a little bit better. So that is the O, the other thought. And we want to check in. Well, do you feel better after you changed your thought? And if you don't feel better, maybe we need to kind of go back and work on, revise that thought a little bit more. The goal is to have them come up with a replacement thought, something different that helps them feel more at ease about the situation. And then the P in STOP stands for pat yourself on the back. You did a good job walking through these steps and coming up with a replacement for your worry thought. So again, we will share this worksheet. We'll post it on our website so that it's accessible for anyone who would like to use it. And we hope that this is a helpful tool. It, again, isn't something that you have to do in a worksheet. A lot of times once kids have learned these steps, it's something that can just be done, kind of off the top of your head. Hold on, I see you're worrying here. Let's use STOP. Okay, say how you feel. All right, what is your thought? What's your worry thought that's making you feel this way? All right, okay, let's go through, let's see if we can come up with another thought instead. What would be a more helpful way to think about this? All right, you did that, great. Pat yourself on the back so you can walk through it that way. It does take some practice, especially for kids or adults who are kind of perpetually in that worry thought mode. It really does take a little bit of effort to start to retrain our brains to think more positively about things. All right, well, again, this will be on our website. We look forward to bringing you more tips. And in the meantime, stay healthy and well.